Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Toxic Masculinity. I hit go live a long time ago. I did a whole intro, and for some reason it didn't work. So we're doing it again, I guess. All right. What's up?
Can it be as funny as it was when we did it when we weren't live? I don't know.
No, we were hilarious. Trust us, that was the best intro we've ever done, and you guys missed it. Right before we came on the air, just when I put on the hold music, which I don't even know if you guys heard, because I mean it's been playing for a while, but I don't know, maybe I don't know, for some reason it didn't go live. I don't know, it didn't work. But I told Jason just before we got on, I go, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah, is the comment section going? Yeah, we're good, right?
Yeah,
we're live.
It's going.
Good, right? Okay,
it's going.
So, and you know what? It's a lot of it has to do with. Somebody's asking about my ex-wife. Where's your ex-wife, Chris?
She has a beard now. She grew a beard.
Ex-wife. Oh yeah, you're my ex-wife. That's fine. Look, the reason I believe this is going to be good. There's a lot of great news right now. There's great news, big news stories, fascinating stuff's going on in the world. I just feel like this is going to be a good episode. That's what I feel like. I don't know. So we're not going to beat around the bush. We're not going to talk about our private lives. We're just going to go straight into it. Jason, this is huge news. Huge news.
Yep. So
the Florida case. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna go for it. The Florida case has been dismissed. The big Florida case about the Mar-a-Lago papers and everything like that. It's just been dismissed. I mean, this is like the best thing that could possibly have happened, really.
Besides him surviving a bullet.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well, by the way. But I just felt like we needed to address this at the top of the show because it's such a big story. Yes, we don't have all the viewers that we normally get at the top of the show yet, but
can I say, Chris, it's
please
huge.
Huge. All right, let's go ahead and just well, I should have done this before, but let me jump into the actual article here and we'll read a little bit of the article because this is pretty cool, I would say. This judge has always been the only sort of rational judge that we've got. God dang, why is the New York Post so annoying? Why do you have this news.au thing? Yes, I'm using a VPN and I'm in Australia apparently, but you really got to do this? You really got to have this banner up? Come on. This is as much of the screen as I get. Give me a break. All right. Trump's Florida case stunningly dismissed after judge finds appointment of special counsel Jack Smith violated the Constitution. Basically what they're saying here is in order to, well, I can go ahead and read it. This is actually Fox News did a good job.
It's a 93.
No question that this case is completely dismissed. Bill?
What's interesting is that, David, you said that's a 93-page ruling. I'm kind of curious as to why it would take so many pages, because if based on what you're saying, she's not ruling on the merits of the case. She's ruling that the special counsel should never have been appointed. And then I wonder about the reverberation, how that will reverberate throughout the Department of Justice, because does that mean that other situations like this would also be dismissed?
It's a great question, and we're waiting to get some clarity from DOJ. I'm just reading here on page 2 of 93. It says the Appointments Clause sets as a default rule that all officers of the United States, whether inferior or principal, must be appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. Jack Smith was not confirmed by the Senate. I assume Dana and Bill will hear an argument from DOJ that past special counsels, John Durham, Robert Mueller, just to name a few in recent memory, also were not confirmed in that way.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite interesting. And this article just basically reiterates that over and over again. Congress was not involved. And look, if that's how it is, if that's how it's supposed to be set out, and that we've not been doing that for however long, then yeah, all those cases are in fact, invalid. Anytime you have a special counsel who's not been confirmed in the appropriate way, what are they? They're just nothing. They're just some guy doing stuff. You know what I mean? So I think this is great. You know, like the thing is, this is what I feel like happened here. I feel like this chick, this judge, I shouldn't be quite so dismissive, maybe. Respect to the judge. I feel like this judge felt like she had a little bit more latitude, I guess, to make this kind of like, decision, because there's a lot more sympathy for Donald Trump right now, right? After the attempted assassination, this judge felt like she had the. Jason's off in his own world, staring into the.
No,
abyss.
I actually I agree. I'm like, what we said on Saturday. This attempt on his life is going to change everything. Now they can go full force on whatever they want to do. Yeah,
exactly. So I love this. I love that this woman feels like she has the latitude to be able to make this ruling, and she's not going to get too much pushback. Now, Merrick Garland has, of course, said, we're going to appeal. We're going to appeal. Oh, F off, Merrick Garland.
Yeah.
It's already been said in Axios. It's already been stated by apparently a top Democrat that they have resigned themselves to a Trump victory. They know Trump's going to win now. Okay. Ever since the assassination attempt, they're like, well, crap. You know, if you watched my video about the Trump attempted assassination, I actually am celebrating the fact that Trump was hit. Okay. It's not just that the shooter missed. That's like, you know, praise the Lord that the shooter missed. But also, what luck is it that he nicked him in the ear? Trump went down, which I think he's probably been trained to do, drilled over and over again with the Secret Service. Trump goes down. The blood streams down his cheek in 2 points, you know, because obviously it had dripped down a little bit. And so it drips down in 2 points. Trump gets back up, fist in the air, blood streamed across his face. That is a visceral image. Because if the shooter had just missed, then we wouldn't see that. You know what I mean? Like it was like the luckiest possible thing that could have happened, like the best possible thing. You cannot, I mean, it's funny, actually. I was talking to a girl from Russia yesterday, and I was talking to her about this. You know, she knows what I do for a job, so she wanted to ask me my opinion on it, whatever. She lives here in the hotel. And she said that a lot of people on Twitter who are more left-leaning, and especially in Russian Twitter, like a lot of Russians on Twitter, they're saying that Trump planned the whole thing, that it was like a Trump, you know, fake assassination to make him look good, to make himself look good. And I'm like, that is the dumbest conspiracy theory maybe ever. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know what they would, and she's like, oh, people are saying that like one of the Secret Service guys had a blood pack and like they helped Trump get fake blood on him and all this kind of thing. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know, they had to kill this kid for this like hoax or something. Like, this is their theory. This is the worst theory I've ever heard.
And the innocent bystander that got killed.
The whole thing is like laughably stupid. Yeah. This idea.
That's how deranged these people are.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand a little bit. Like, people have become very, very cynical of everything, and they're like, oh, you know, anybody's capable of anything. We've seen a lot of hoaxes. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but this just defies common sense. Like, use a little common sense, okay? We got some crazies on our side with the conspiracy theories. The left really is the crazies on their side.
Hey, man, the planet is flat. Come on.
It's flat. I know, right? Okay. Don't even mention that on the show. Jeez, I hate that. There's going to be people in the comments now, you know, debating that. But yeah, I think it's fantastic this case has been dismissed. Look, here's why the case really should be dismissed. Because it's a BS case from the beginning. Okay? They go into Mar-a-Lago. Listen, a lot of these documents, maybe all of them, Hold on. Trump's team was called, I forget what the department is. There's a department within the federal government who they kind of work behind the scenes with the logistics. And it was this department that called Donald Trump and said, we have a bunch of boxes here, old boxes. Can you pick them up? So
Yeah.
Trump's, I don't even think Trump's team picked them up. I think what happened is they mailed them to Mar-a-Lago. So they're like, okay, I guess we got all these boxes. So they just go in and put them in. They didn't know there was anything classified in those boxes. They were set up. Okay. Then they say, oh, you have some documents we need back. And they're like, okay, let's figure out what documents you need, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they say, oh, you're not quick enough. We're sending in the feds. They're like, what? Boom, 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 boom. Feds come in, knocking down doors, whatever it is. I don't know if they actually knock down any doors, but you know what I mean. They come in with their guns, ready to go into Mar-a-Lago. If Trump was there, who knows what would have happened. Anyway, and now they're saying, oh, now we're going to prosecute you for a federal crime for receiving some mail that we sent you. So, you know, this whole case was BS from the beginning. I mean, whatever. I think Judge Cannon did what she thought was the most sort of like robust dismissal of the case. So fair enough. But
by the way,
this could have been dismissed just because it's BS. Yeah, go
on. Trump, keep this woman in mind for Supreme Court.
I know. That's a great point. That's a great point.
And, right, I think the word you were looking about Trump's luckiness or his is divine intervention.
Divine intervention. I agree.
Too perfect.
I agree. All right, we got a few people here in the chat. We got a few people watching. Good to see you guys. If you want your voices heard, go ahead and let us know what you're thinking about the world here with a super chat. We'll read it here on the air, and it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be what we're talking about. But I'll tell you what, I'm also going to try to sell you guys on something else because I have developed a little bit of merch here. A little bit of merch. We've got these T-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs and posters and all kinds of cool stuff. This is my black and white one with a little bit of red. I think you know where the red's going to be on this particular image. It's going to be right there, splattered across Trump's face because he defied the death. Essentially, he defied death, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So I've got. I don't know why this one came out in blue. It's kind of annoying, right? But anyway, you can get it black, you can get it white, whatever. Now, some people, I posted this on my YouTube channel, right? I posted this on my YouTube channel, and immediately somebody was like, Chris, why are you trying to capitalize on this tragedy and blah, 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 blah. It's too soon. Look, I don't really make a lot of money off of the merch. I make almost nothing off the merch, if I'm honest. But I wanted to celebrate this moment. And I'll tell you why I want to celebrate it. Trump survived. Trump lived.
Yep.
Okay. And this moment, this could change America. This is one of the great turning points in America. I don't really make a lot of money off this, if I'm honest. I make almost nothing. Yeah, okay. The little money I make, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like having a little bit of extra money, but it's not enough really even to justify me doing this. But I got inspired. I was like, I want to create a design out of this iconic image. I feel like this is going to be remembered. This photograph in particular is going to be remembered as one of the great moments in American history. I just want to celebrate that. You know what I mean? Allow me to celebrate a moment with my fellow conservatives, with my fellow Trump supporters, with my fellow extreme MAGA Republicans.
Ultra MAGA.
That says, look, you know, we can celebrate it. And yeah, maybe people want to spend money on the Trump campaign or something, or buy, and I appreciate that, right? If you want to get a Make America Great Again hat or something specifically from the Trump campaign, I love that. Okay, or donate your money to the Trump campaign. I love that. I just want to create something myself and create the opportunity for people to get it if they want it. Okay, that's all I wanted to do.
What's wrong? What's wrong with a little capitalism and trying to help the cause
What's
out?
wrong with a little capitalism?
I mean, come on, we're conservatives. Come on.
I just didn't. I mean, I kind of expected some people to come out like that, but I don't know. It kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
All right.
It's by the way, it's helping the cause too. Like, you know, people wearing the shirt out there. You know, it's a support.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I wanted to wear that shirt. I created an image that I wanted to wear myself. I wanted that mug. I'm sending some stuff to Jason, by the way. Okay, Anthony Mark jumped in $2. He says Trump Vance 2024. That's right. That's the new thing, isn't it? Big Lou 85, $20. He says this will likely be my Only donation today. I have to drive home and grab my bowling gear for league tonight. Hey, cool. Big Lou. What a great name for a bowling guy, right? Big Lou. You gents have a good stream. I'll have you on in the background. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. And yeah, like, I don't know. I Trump Vance. Okay. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show, but wow, what a pick. What a pick. Interesting. Jason's got some very strong opinions on this, but we will get into that a little bit later. Right now, what's our next news story, Jason? What are we going to talk about? There's so many fascinating things going on.
We have Douglas McGregor posted this, but there are a bunch of people have posted this about ABC News effectively blames the assassination attempt of Trump on his supporters and Trump himself.
And I'm just going to brag a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. I called this. I called this in my video about yesterday that I posted yesterday. I said specifically, some people in the media are going to come out and they're going to say Trump brought this upon himself with his inflammatory rhetoric. I didn't think it was going to be ABC News. ABC News. Let's watch this. Let's watch this crap.
Also, George, we have to point out, no matter who the shooter, what the shooter's motives were, no matter who the shooter is, you are going to hear conspiracy theories going forward.
No question about that. But as you point out those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words. And you have heard it from supporters as well. And supporters are certainly in some parts angry. And let's remember January 6th in so many ways for the campaign. January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign. I'm sure this week in Milwaukee that President Trump will highlight this, and President Biden is going to have to figure out how to go forward with his campaign and what exactly they say.
Look at how serious he is.
Yeah.
Look how serious he is.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously though. But January 6th and violent rhetoric and
no, and the misinformation she said about when he said the bloodbath, which had to deal with economics about cars.
She might have been might have been another quote. I'm not 100% sure. He might have said
the one
that
she's talking about. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right.
Folks, you know, in the Constitution, foreign and domestic. There's your domestic enemies, the media.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, I knew this was going to happen. I thought it was going to be on MSNBC. I thought it was going to be some lunatics on Twitter. I think it's going to be flipping ABC News. Yeah, of course.
But every channel has done. Every news, every legacy media has already blamed Republicans. You know what gets me too? Like, wait, didn't they attempt to take the life of Donald Trump, a Republican? Like, how does this make any sense? Like they're spinning it. They're spinning it.
You know what pisses me off? I've heard these criticisms before, and I've heard the counterpoints, right? Which is essentially like, you know, look, if you cheat the election, it completely, right? Or if you come in and you say Trump's not allowed to run anymore, and we're going to take him off the ballots, right? To me, that is rigging the election, openly rigging the election, right? Or if Trump comes in and we see, okay, there's been, Trump should have won. He got the most votes in all the swing states, whatever. He got the most electoral votes, and yet they still somehow managed to make it so that Biden wins or whatever. All right. Even if Trump is saying it's going to be a bloodbath, even if Trump is saying that there will be political violence because of that, that is not necessarily encouraging political violence. That's saying if you cheat, there is a certain subset of Americans who will not tolerate that. There will be a new American Revolution. There will be a civil war. Okay, I say the same thing. I'm not saying it because I'm encouraging it. I'm saying because I'm concerned. I don't want there to be a civil war. I don't want there to be a revolution. But I know there's people out there who are willing to do that. So if you cheat, you are basically causing that to happen. You know, if you come in and you take Trump off the ballots unconstitutionally because you just want to win that bad that you're willing to cheat, you have essentially engaged in a coup. You have essentially engaged in, what do they call it? An insurrection. Okay. So if there is Americans out there who will not stand for that, who will pick up guns and who will fight, that is what will happen. I don't want that to happen. So I'm trying to warn people to say, don't cheat, don't F things up, don't create this coup, don't try to subvert what Republicans hate to call democracy, but whatever it is you want to call our election system. Do not subvert the will of the people. Allow the elections to go properly, because otherwise there could be political violence, right? That's what Trump is saying as well. He's not encouraging it. He's warning this could happen. Okay. And now these people are using that rhetoric, and they're saying, and we've talked about this before, though. We've talked about this before the shooting. We talked about this. So you come in after the shooting and you say, oh, this is Trump's fault. I want to make another video where I'm swearing at the camera about these a-holes, because I'm just pissed off about that as I'm about AOC. You know, and we'll get to the AOC thing in a second.
They're just completely lying, because our side does not give rhetoric like that, like their side. Their side actually threatens people's lives. They threaten physical violence. They've done physical violence. They've taken people's lives. They've done riots. They've done it all. Everything that they're saying that the conservatives are doing, they're doing, and their rhetoric is causing that to happen. Our rhetoric, we're just complaining about policy. We're complaining about we don't want their policies. We don't want their law, the way they're doing their government, the way they're doing this government. That's what we talk about. And we talk about the effects of their policies, of their laws coming into place. It's affecting the way our country is in a negative way, you know, and you're going to have a negative consequence. You know, if look, stealing an election, trying to put your political opponent in prison, jailing people, the J6, jailing innocent people, jailing old ladies for protesting in front of an abortion clinic. You know,
what they believe is exactly.
Yeah, like and none of those were violent. None of those were like you know, and there was never rhetoric of go and attack, go and kill wherever they are at. Confront them. You know, never that. You know, so I don't know. Maybe I'm on a rant.
Every accusation by a Democrat is a confession. Every accusation is a confession. All right, so I have this. I'm just going to go ahead and post this. This is a tweet that I wanted to share with you guys. This is actually not from me, but it's from my friend Dick Jackman. And I say many radical leftists are registered Republicans. So this is a strategy. Dick Jackman pointed this out. I think this is really good to point out. He says, I encourage you to share this thread with anyone who says Trump shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks was a registered Republican, which automatically means that he was a Republican, right? Or he was conservative. He actually sent this to me in a DM, and he said, can you repost this? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to repost this. And you can see this. This happens a lot, right? Okay, Democrats, let's disrupt Trump's plans and influence. Register as a Republican to vote against Trump's picks. And this is not just about Trump. This is about local people that are running in local races and stuff like that. They will vote as a Republican in the Republican primaries to try to screw up our primaries, right? This is a Democrat tactic that they've been doing for ages. I used to report on this ages ago when they first did it. This chick says, I would move to Wyoming, register as a Republican, and vote for Cheney. If the Republicans only want Republicans to vote, maybe everyone should register as a Republican and vote as they wish. For $5 million, I might go register as a Republican and vote, but I would vote Democrat all down the line. Does that count? This chick writes, if you are a registered Democrat, it will probably be hard to vote soon. So register as a Republican and vote for the Democrats. That's the only easy fix I know. Well, they think that we're fascists. You know, they think that we're evil authoritarians. Countermeasure, register as a Republican and vote for the Democrat. I plan to register as a Republican and vote. Yeah, this is a very common tactic for radical leftists. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, just so you guys counter argument if somebody says, "Oh, the shooter was registered as a Republican." That is a leftist tactic. Okay,
But
That's
you
a
know,
leftist.
the left is effective, man. When something happens, they're on it. Like they're on it with their spin, they're on it with their lies, they're on it with their projection. You know, and the problem is their voter base falls for it. You know.
Yeah. No, they
So,
are. Evil is effective. You know who's also effective? Satan. All right.
Yeah. But we got to stop giving in. We got to stop giving in, and we need to play by their rules. You know, it's time to start. Yeah,
exactly. I agree with you. Yeah, we need to play a little bit more rough. I said, don't play dirty, but play rough, and actually know what we're doing, and pay attention to what they're doing. You know, this is another important point I wanted to make before we get into some of the more the bigger stories of the day.
Yeah, this is good.
This guy Ian Haworth, he wrote, "How did this happen? How did the shooter happen?" Right, and I wrote, "This is how you radicalize your base." Look at this. These are all tweets from Joe Biden. Now, did Joe Biden tweet these? No, it was his Twitter girl that he's hired. Right? She writes, "Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country." She writes, "Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy. We cannot let him win. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, talking to folks about what's at stake this election. Tune in. Trump poses many threats to our country. The right to choose, civil rights, voting rights, and America's standing in the world. But the greatest threat he poses is to our democracy. If we lose that, we lose everything." And that's somebody wrote that dingbat girl that's writing all these posts needs to be fired. And I wrote exactly right.
But remember also those same writers, he did the speech in front of the red walls or red White House, and that's pretty much what he was saying in that speech.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and he wasn't just talking about Trump. He was talking about you and me. He was talking about the extreme MAGA Republicans. You know, threat to our democracy. And I remember during that speech, we all went, is he trying to get Republicans killed? Is he trying to get Trump killed? Well, we all said that. I mean, we've been saying that since 2016, since Trump ran the first time. We're just like, what is up with these people saying Trump's Hitler? Trump's a fascist, all this kind of stuff. They're trying to get conservatives killed. They're trying to get Trump killed. I mean, we've all been saying that for ages, but especially during that speech that you mentioned, we're just like, yeah, this is essentially a call to action from the radical left to commit acts of political violence. And we've been warning about this forever. All right, we got one more X post here. This I thought was really important. Trump literally dodged a bullet. Again, this is Colin Rugg, and he actually made a really good point. Somebody slowed down the footage, and dude, Trump literally moved his head at the very last second. Watch this, guys. Watch this.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Moves his head, just boom.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
Turns his head, boom, shot. If he hasn't,
take a look.
we get it. We don't need to see that. But he turns his head. He literally turns his head. Whoop. If he hadn't done that, he kind of tilts his head and moves it to the left, kind of twists his head sort of clockwise there, and then boom, then he gets shot immediately.
You're doing a JFK
I know, but it's so true. And then boom, you see him hold his ear, check the blood, jump down. And
it's wild.
He moves his head at that very last second. If he hadn't moved his head, it would have blown his brains out. He would be dead right now. It is like a miracle, you guys.
Yeah, I woke up yesterday. I woke up and I was just like, we almost had one of the saddest days in American history. And it hit me like. It slapped me in the face.
But it was one of the greatest days. It turns out to be one of the greatest days. I mean, it is. There was a death, and as I was saying before, somebody complained that in my video I didn't name the victim that died, and I deleted their comment. I was so pissed off at that. They're like, "Oh, you named the shooter, but you didn't name the the victim who died. Of course I named the victim. They didn't release the name yet. I didn't know who his name was. I say in the video, when I find out the name, I will mention his name on my show. But I said, but until then, our hearts go out to the victim's family. But this person's like, why didn't you name them? Okay, the name isn't released. Okay, what do you get in my case for about this? Sometimes comments piss me off because I'm just like, and the reason I named the shooter is because there was some confusion on X actually about who the shooter was, because there was like some guy posing as the shooter saying, I'm still alive, right? But it's just a guy that kind of looked like him. So that's why I pointed that out. Like my show, I always feel like I need to get the truth out. And so I wanted to clear that up. But that's why I mentioned that guy's name. But anyway, this woman writes, it was divine intervention. A lot of people believe that it was divine intervention. Donald Trump came out with a comment on Truth Social right afterwards. And he said, God saved my life, which was such a profound thing. That really impressed me that he wrote that. Did you see that? Did you see that post?
No,
again, Jason's off in his own world.
No, I didn't see that, but earlier, like I said, yeah, divine intervention, completely. I believe this is God's all knowing from beginning to end. So this is all this is all supposed to happen the way it's happening. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so we got to continue to pray.
All right, shall I share my rant, my AOC rant?
Yes.
Did you see this? Have you seen this?
I haven't seen your rant. No. This is gonna be all new.
It's actually kind of gone viral. It's kind of gone like, not really viral, but viral for me. Like I don't have videos that do this well.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, the numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, they're good numbers, but they haven't. It did like level off because YouTube's algorithms just suppresses my videos so hardcore. Yeah. This should have 1 million views by now, but I kind of went off.
You know what happened?
Like using profanity, foul language. However, AOC is a f***ing bitch. This woman is a shitty piece of shit, degenerate, evil. Let me explain to you why. Donald Trump was almost killed yesterday. He escaped an assassination attempt. Why? Probably because the shooter was radicalized by leftists saying things like, Trump is a threat to our democracy. If Trump gets elected, it's the end of democracy, the end of America. Okay, all right. We understand that. Maybe you should tone down the rhetoric, right? The next day, AOC tweets out that Trump is a fascist. Of course you did. Of course you did that. Of course you did that because you are a piece of shit human being, AOC.
Okay, so I go on like that for a while. But basically,
tell us how you really feel.
I know. Well, so here's why I said that, because there was a report out. This is actually quite cool. There was a report out that says that they basically just given up. Here it is. They basically just given up on hoping that Biden could win, right? So Jake Tapper, I don't know why I interpreted this wrong, but in my head I thought somebody told Jake Tapper this, but no, this has been reported in Axios. It's reported in Axios that a senior House Democrat, a top Democrat in DC has said, we've all resigned ourselves to a second Trump presidency. They believe Donald Trump is going to win, and they don't believe there's anything they can do about it. Exactly what I tweeted. As soon as I saw the assassination attempt, I wrote, Trump just won this election, right? What are you going to do now? Like, how the hell are they going to beat Trump now? Every time I see like a tweet from Biden, I laugh now because it's so, it's so like facile. There's nothing that they can say now that's going to change anyone's mind. Trump is going to win. Yeah. Right? And they just admitted it.
There's nothing they can say, but don't be careful. There's something that they can do.
That is true. So AOC comes out and she writes, if you're a senior Democrat that feels this way, you should absolutely retire and make space for true leadership that refuses to resign themselves to fascism.
There we go.
This kind of leadership is functionally. Yeah. Okay. So this, she just drives me nuts, this woman. What just a filthy, disgusting human being. She comes out after they basically try to assassinate Donald Trump, probably because of this kind of rhetoric. And she goes out and she uses it again. She says, resign themselves to fascism because what Trump's a fascist. What a disgusting woman.
Chris,
that just pissed me off. So that's why I made that video.
Chris, you're looking at this wrong. I love her. Yep. She's the best thing that ever happened to Republicans. I love her. Every time I see her say something, I just laugh and I'm like, oh, awesome. Keep on. Next.
But like, how dumb do you have to be though? How dumb do you have to be?
Exactly.
Oh my God. All right. Let me read. There's a couple of super chats here. MMA Fix jumps in. Hey, MMA Fix. Good to see you, man. He writes, Chris, why didn't you name Trump's VP last week? What do you mean? Name Trump? I don't understand. I assume that's supposed to be a joke, but I don't know what that means.
I think he thinks you knew it.
I was told a name, but it wasn't JD Vance. Eric Wade, $20. He says, I was watching live on RSBN the moment Trump dropped to the deck. I knew that 100 million physical security experts would emerge, just like all the armchair virologists of 2020. Social media is stupid. Yeah, it's actually quite funny. Somebody was telling me this, that it might have been you, Jason. Somebody was saying that there's all these, no, it was somebody else. It was a buddy of mine here where I'm living now. And a buddy of mine was like, yeah, on Twitter, there's all these snipers are now commenting. Have you seen this? I haven't seen it actually, but he said there's all these snipers that have come out and said, oh yeah, I can tell you exactly how this would have gone and blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you the only thing that I did to try to educate myself about this. I went onto the internet and I tried to find out what the average distance was that a deer hunter would be comfortable shooting, right? Like a hunter that hunts deer. What is their comfortable range?
500
and the comfortable
yards?
range was 100 to 300 yards, which is, I think the shooter was 150 or 130 yards away from Trump.
Yeah.
Meters, it might have been meters, but whatever, yards, meters, pretty close. And I'm like, okay, so not only is the Secret Service not checking a rooftop that's within sniper range, they're not checking a rooftop that's within the range of a white-tailed deer hunter, somebody trying to hunt deer. That's like a normal guy, like, what are you doing? How could that roof not have been checked? That's the really big.
I'm hearing
how is there not a guy there?
Yeah, I'm hearing so many things. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I don't want to say any specific thing yet, because until I know for sure. But I know one thing. The fact that this person was able to go onto the rooftop only 150 yards away.
Yeah.
That right there is suspect. That right there is negligence. That right there is suspicious. That right there tells me something's up, and you just can't allow it. And by the way, I actually went, because I'm subscribed on YouTube to a whole bunch of like these ex-military people and all that, and they were all talking about it. Yeah. So
I don't really I'm not like a gun guy. So a lot of my friends are really big gun guys, but I'm not. Like, I have one gun. Okay, I own one gun.
That's sad. That's sad. You're not toxic. You're not toxic masculinity.
I'm not toxic enough. But my brother owns a bunch of guns. My dad owns guns. My other brother has. We all have. My family all has guns. We got a farm, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not a gun guy myself. It'd be nice to have more guns, but I don't have like a house, so I don't have anywhere to keep them or anything. So
you could keep them at my house. Just buy them, and you could just store them at my house. Okay.
Anyway, point is, I'm not like a huge gun guy. I'm not an expert on all this kind of stuff, and I'm not a tactical guy either. I mean, I know a little bit. I've done a little bit of research, but I'm not like I'm not like Gorka, right? I'm not like a military expert. I don't know about these things. But as a guy who watches movies, this is just a guy who watches movies. And that's it, right? I've seen movies with military stuff in it, right? If they had put me in charge of the Secret Service that day, okay, I may have messed a lot of things up. I may not have known all the protocols. I may not have known the best way to deal with a shooting. I probably would have screwed up the whole thing. But I'll tell you what I would have done. I would have put a guy on that roof.
Exactly.
Just as a normal guy who doesn't know anything about this stuff, just from like watching movies, I'd be like, there's a. It looks like that's what I would call a perch, right? That's a perch. Let me get a guy up there, or two guys with guns up there, just to keep an eye on the crowd and just to make sure nobody gets up on that roof.
or I heard from like Bongino, which he was in the Secret Service. He was like at least a helicopter or a drone. Scanning the area, you know, it's come on. We live in the what, the 21st century, and you didn't have
you ever played a video game where you have to like infiltrate like a base of like an enemy or something like that? I've seen these guys.
You pop out the drone. You pop out the drone.
No, I'm saying I've seen these videos where guys talk about like how realistic is this video game? Like I've seen videos on YouTube, and they're like, so this would never happen, and let me tell you why. You would never have like a little area where somebody could get in and infiltrate your base. Like we obviously, that's like the main thing we look at when we're trying to develop a defensive position. Like, what's an area where somebody could get in? Where's an area where somebody could snipe us? Like, obviously, we look at that sort of thing. And it's like when they developed this game, they specifically created areas where you can like sneak in, or you know, because it's a bit of fun to play like that. But it's not realistic because you would never have that opportunity because no one would ever set things up that way. Well, that's kind of what it felt like they did here. It felt like they went, okay, if there's a gunman, let's make sure we've got the whole area secured except for this one very obvious spot. So this guy could go and play first-person shooter in real life. This will be fun for somebody. If they want to try to take out the president, this will be fun for them. Like, it's like it feels intentional. It feels intentional.
Yeah, exactly. But wouldn't you, like, you're the lead person in the Secret Service that's in charge of this situation, right? Wouldn't you go on top of the podium, look around, look at every angle, look at every building, and say, okay, there's a possible
well, I assume that's part
shooter
of what
can
their
be
job
there,
is.
and then you move from the podium, you'd get up higher, or you'd get on a helicopter, go around and check the area out. You know, like, I mean, what you just said is the most common sense thing, right? You just go stand where Trump's going to stand, and then you automatically know line of sight, right? You know all the positions where somebody can see, because you need line of sight. That's the only thing you really for sure need. Yeah, there's other things that would be nice, no wind, you know, whatever. But you need to be able to see your target. That's like the one thing that's absolutely you need to know. You need to see. So if you can see wherever you can see, that's a point where they can shoot you. Line of sight. That's what you need. And I'm still going with my theory. I think it's not like they planned it. It's not like they I don't know. I'm open to it. But I just think they knew a crazy guy eventually would come on scene in one of his rallies or somewhere. Yeah. And
of course. No, we all know.
And they're going to try to take him out. And they just left it open. Like, okay, if some crazy guy comes, he's going to be able to do it. So, yeah.
It's like they created a video game scenario for this guy. By the way, Sebastian Gorka just revoked my man card.
Yes.
He wrote, he goes, one gun, man card revoked.
And I think you said, I think I have one gun, right?
No, because I used to have, I think I had another gun at some point, but no, but I've been to Gorka's house, and I don't want to reveal anything, but let me tell you, do not try to rob Sebastian Gorka.
a man of my own heart. A man of my own heart.
Don't get on his bad side. That's all I can say. All right, let's look at a couple of super chats here. We've got Casparius. Oh, Casparius is back. Good to see you, Casparius. Right. So does anybody know if the counter snipies are safe? You know the saying, canceled men tell no tales, and their handlers can't be very happy. We're not like that. Come on. We're not USSR. At least I didn't think so before Trump was indicted. Dame Frodo Lives writes, question for everyone. Can Americans handle telling us the truth if indeed it was an inside job? Here's the interesting thing about that. Actually, Gorka mentioned this. He was like, I don't trust the FBI to investigate this because the FBI is so corrupt at this point. Like, they should have indicted Hunter Biden ages ago. They should have investigated Joe Biden ages ago. What are they doing? They're covering that stuff up. They're raiding Mar-a-Lago. Really? No, the FBI cannot be trusted for this. So the suggestions that Gorka gave were U.S. Marshals should investigate it. Somebody like NCIS, right? The Department of Defense, those whatever investigative bodies are in there. Department of Homeland Security investigations could do it. These other agencies that we're not so convinced are corrupted, maybe they should do the investigations. But no, what do we have? We have an FBI investigation. In fact, I saw it was reported that it was the Philadelphia office or something who had already been involved in stuff that we know is already corrupt.
Yeah, FBI has been so compromised. I believe nothing from them. Sorry.
Exactly.
I won't believe anything.
Dame Frodo Lives says, happy birthday to Dame Piglet. Well, happy birthday to Dame Piglet.
Happy birthday.
That's fantastic. Happy birthday. That's awesome. That's awesome. And what a cool day to have a birthday, too, because today I feel like is a continuation of the celebration of Donald Trump surviving.
Chris, you seem very happy today. Very, very uppity and happy.
Yeah, man, because we've got to turn. This is a turning point in American history. Right? People have woken up. I'm looking at people like even left. We're going to get to that in a second, but I mean, even leftists are starting to go, I'm voting for Trump now.
Yeah.
I kind of predicted this, as soon as the shooting happened, I was like, oh man, I think we're going to see leftists voting for Trump now. And I kind of thought that would happen because of the debate already.
No, you know what it is? Look, this is why it's turning people.
Well, ho. Did you just say outright, viciously, coldly no to something? How dare you?
Yes.
How dare you?
I wasn't literally saying no to you. It was like running in my head. Like, oh, you see, Chris, you screwed me up.
I got you off track. Oh, you can't get him off track, guys. You can't get him off track. All right, let me play this video. Maybe I'll come back to you. Let me play this video because this is exactly what I'm talking about. This guy says Trump is a real N-word, but not in a bad way. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Y'all seen the president, well, the nigga that's running, Trump. He got shot, dog. They shot him. This nigga done been shot, saying done went to jail, he done scammed people. And this nigga my uncle? Who the fuck? Who the hell? Black. He's officially black now, bro. This is beautiful. They shot him. He was like, yeah, I'm having that's fine. He was fine. He was doing like this and walked out with an American flag on him. Like this. He put one of these, like, I'm a real nigga. Fuck, nigga, I'm out of here. That's hard, bro. I wasn't even finna vote. I'm voting now, dog. He got it. He won. I wasn't even. I had no skin in the game. I like that nigga got shot. He won. Fuck the bullshit. Yeah, real ops, nigga. What the fuck? Joe Biden's biggest op is the stairs. That's it. He had real ops. Somebody really tried to listen. That's how you know he a real nigga, bro. Joe Biden has been trying to kill himself his whole presidency. So nobody had to kill this nigga. Nobody had to try to kill it. Trump been just ready to go his whole time, and like we gotta fucking off his ass and missed, and just skipped his ear and missed. That's crazy, bro. Hey, Mexican nigga, you fuck with Trump? Yeah, hell yeah, that was good. Huh? You say amen? He not God, nigga. What the fuck? That was crazy.
Anyway, I just thought that was the best thing. The guy's also got a great delivery, by the way. He's a good comedian. You can tell this guy's basically a pro.
So what?
Yeah, that killed me. I loved it.
That's great. I love it. But what I was gonna say was, so I think the people see it now. So he's been persecuted. He's been lied about. Russia. You know, he's been put to court. He's been ruined. Like they're trying to ruin him. They're trying to get at him so many ways. And people were saying the only option that they're gonna have left is to kill him. And look, it's been done. So I think people are realizing, wait a minute. This is not, this is a man that they're really trying to like disappear, get rid of. He's a real threat to them, to the other side.
Well, when I was saying this stuff on my videos previously, and I would mention to other people in real life, like, I don't really see what options they have. We're getting down to like, they've tried everything, right? They put him through court. They've tried to take him off the ballots. They've tried to impeach him. They've done all these things, and it's not working. He's just becoming more popular. I'm like, they kind of got one thing left, don't they? And people kind of, I think they hear that and they go, okay, yeah, what you're saying makes sense, but it doesn't feel real. Like what I'm saying sounds like a story or something, right? The speculation sounds like a story. Now it's very, very real. Yeah. So now people aren't no longer going like, oh, maybe maybe you're right, maybe you're not. They're going, you're right. This is exactly what you're 100% right. So that's good. I think it's good that people have woken up. And like I say, it's not just that this guy missed, thank God, but it's that he hit him a little bit. Right. And so we had that blood, it's that you could see viscerally what happened. Like that's such a big deal. All right. Do you want to go on the next news story? We got the RFK thing. You want to spit that out?
Yep. So RFK Jr. officially granted Secret Service protection by the Biden administration. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, in light of this weekend's event.
In light of this weekend's events, the president has directed me to work with the Secret Service to provide protection to Robert Kennedy Jr.
Oh, really? Really? Now he gives him Secret Service protection. Like, what an absolute piece of human garbage. Anyway,
it's funny because I wrote a comment on I'm trying to look for it. Man, I posted something on X saying President Trump is still in charge of the White House. He's still making decisions for the White House.
What do you mean?
I mean that because Donald Trump, they're going to give JFK
because of what happened.
Robert Kennedy. So he's still controlling the White House.
Okay.
He's still making decisions for them.
MMA Fix jumps in.
I thought that was a good one, Chris. You're just blowing it off,
It's not that good. It's not that good. That's why I'm blowing up. And Chris, why didn't you tell anyone it was
my post was better?
Birthday? I don't understand the MMA. I don't understand. You mentioned something else. Why didn't you tell anybody about the VP? Why didn't you tell? I don't understand. Oh, are you making jokes about people in because I was complaining earlier that somebody was like, why didn't you mention the name of the victim at the Trump rally?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. All right. I'm starting to cop on to your joke. I'm a little slow. Okay. It's the morning. I think I may have the Biden disease, whatever it is. That's so sharp these days. I'm an old man. By the way, my hair, I'm looking up this thing in my hair. I didn't comb my hair, but I cut my hair real short because I'm riding a motorcycle. So I got a motorcycle helmet everywhere. And I was the girl that I'm dating. I took this girl out yesterday. And she's like looking at my Instagram going, I could be dating this hair? Okay, Jason, come on. I got jokes. What are you doing? You're off in La La Land. What did I just say?
Something about your hair?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, something about hair. Yeah, something about hair. Come on, this is funny stuff, man. Oh, my God. So, anyway, she was pissed as well. It's not just you guys in the comments.
So, here. Okay, let me try it again, Chris. So I wrote, Trump is still making things happen in the White House. Is that better?
You really want this joke to work. You really.
It's not really a joke. It's an observation, actually.
All right, moving on. Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company says Trump Marine 2024 FJB. Who's Marine? What is Marine?
That's Vance was a Marine.
Is that why? Okay, yeah, yes. That's cool. I like that. Half Power Concrete. We love you.
Vance is a Marine because I know Marines get pissed off if you say like was or is.
Was
like they're always a Marine. So which
fair
is fine. I agree with that.
GI Jose says RFK Jr. No, thank you. What does that mean? No, thank you. I don't understand. He is taking Secret Service protection. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you mean like that's proposed.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if he's saying this is a proposed vice presidential pick.
I know what he means.
Or what does he mean?
I know what he means.
What does he mean?
If they give him Secret Service security, it might go against him. Might not work out the way he wants it.
Some people are suggesting that maybe Trump doesn't need more Secret Service. Maybe Trump needs more private security, like former special forces guys, stuff like that. Sebastian Gorka says to tell Jason to pay attention. He's like, no, I'm going to make this statement work. What are you saying, Chris? Something about your hair? I don't care. Let's see.
I can't take Chris serious. He only has one gun, Gorka.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, Gorka's making some sense, but we'll talk after the show. All right. So what do we got next? What's our next story, my friend?
Next story is Psaki tells GOP to change programming at convention to restore civility. I'm incredibly scared.
Yeah, this is actually really weird, right? Like I don't really even understand this.
Scared of what? Their people are the ones doing the violence.
I honestly read through this entire story from start to finish because I was trying to figure out what the hell she was talking about.
So did I.
Let's go ahead and play this video. Oh, no,
it's just words. Headlines. The video, yeah, it's just words.
Oh, there's no like video of her saying this.
No,
okay,
no.
But basically, she's come in and she's gone. The way that they've got it lined up, she says, "We'll see if that programming changes." Hold on, let me go back up here. The convention is starting, and unless the programming changes, the rhetoric and how the programming is set up is not actually calming the tone or restoring civility, Psaki said. We'll see if that programming changes, but if it stays the same, that is escalating. It's not a civil approach to a convention. What the hell is she talking about?
The best part is this, Chris. Let me read it for you.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who has a platform who thinks the moment right now is to be political and attack the other party, which is what they do when they have opportunities like that, you are feeding into the danger. You are making it more likely there's retaliation. Oh, yeah? And then she has the audacity to say, I'm incredibly scared. I'm scared for journalists. I'm scared for people who have public platforms of all parties.
Right. But I don't even know, because, okay, just so people know what programming means in terms of a convention, programming just means who's going to speak at the convention and what the order of those speakers are. That's what she's talking about. So how the hell is that inflammatory? What does she want us to do? Take away our superstar Republican speakers at the? I don't even understand what her complaint is. She's saying that it's divisive.
Her complaint is Republicans, be like you usually are. Keep quiet. Be soft.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Give
in to our rhetoric.
Yeah, just whatever we say, just agree with it.
Yeah.
Just agree with it. And look, Jen Psaki, just shut the hell up. You have no place to tell us what we're supposed to do at our convention, you annoying, stupid harpy. Okay? Look, this woman, she's saying that she's scared. Look, you literally just shot at our candidate. Okay? Yeah. Have we done anything even remotely like that?
Yeah.
And look, you know what I said?
No, yeah.
You know what
they shot at our candidate. They tried to kill Supreme Justice. They shot at Scalia in a baseball field, you know. They've actually tried to assassinate our side.
Our guys. Yeah. And here's the crazy, this is what I think about this convention speech and all this kind of stuff. Like right after the assassination attempt, we went on live. We went online for 3 hours. We went on live. And what did we say, Jason? What did we say? We said, this is a beautiful moment for us. This is a beautiful moment for us. If we like act out violently, we ruin it. We ruin this moment because we're proving that they're the violent ones and we're the peaceful ones, right? And that wasn't necessarily a prescription for conservatives. You weren't telling people what to do, but we expect people to realize this, like, because conservatives aren't dumb. You know, I think she's an arrogant, elitist, coastal elite kind of person, lefty, who's like, oh, we're the smart ones. They're all stupid and dumb, and they'll retaliate. No, we're not going to retaliate. Okay, we're not going to retaliate. You know why? Because we're actually the peaceful ones. We're actually and we're intelligent enough to understand that this is a political benefit to us. All right, we're not stupid, Jen Psaki. I know sometimes we talk like we are because Jason's from New York, and sometimes I acquire his accent when I get angry. But
this is can you say psyop for this or something? I don't know. This is a psychological warfare. She's just trying to like.
This is gaslighting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, this is propaganda. This is actual bullcrap. It just kind of pissed me off, this story. But I'll go ahead and read a couple of super chats here. This is from Eric Wade. Thank you, Eric Wade. $20. He says, Psaki is a sofa kin weta dead.
I wonder what that is. I want to know what that is. I really do.
Hold on, let me think.
Hey.
I think it's like you can sound it out. But I'm not going to try to sound it out because I don't know what.
Yeah, I've been trying in my head. Hey, Chris, is this the reason why? Is this the reason why they're trying to get rid of redheads in Hollywood? You
What?
notice
I don't
there's a
understand what you mean.
there's a whole thing
They
where
replace it
they're
with black
replacing
people?
all the
Yeah, I know.
red.
But I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. L Crane, $5 says, when are you
Oh,
going
yeah,
to do
yeah,
a
people.
test with the
I need
boys
help
at
here.
Lauer Road Radio? Also, Jen is Chucky. Yeah, she is Chucky. You know, I contacted Lauer Road Radio guys. They're funny guys, actually great guys. We should do a show. I don't know why that never. Yeah, I don't know that never happened. We'll have them on here sometime. All right, let's go on to the next story, my friend.
This sounds like a legitimate threat.
Yeah, this
Will
is
the
a weird one.
FBI investigate?
What's weird is that there's a lot of people coming out going, "Oh, I'm so upset." Like when you have a shot, why don't you aim correctly? I mean, what the hell? You missed. We could have saved our democracy if you had just been on target. You know, people are saying crap like that. Really disgusting stuff. But this might take the cake. DC
hold
Twitter
on, Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry, the super chat was so effing Special Olympics. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying there. I don't want to say it on YouTube.
Oh, what super chat?
The super chat about Jen Psaki.
We tied it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. A friend of mine sent me a text right now explaining.
I could tell it was one of those things if you sounded out correctly. All right, well, let's have a look here. So some guy named Phil Whipple has written, "Hey, rednecks, the next shooter is not going to miss. This was just to get your attention, and I see that it worked quite well." I mean, it sounds like a supervillain, right? It's weird. By September 1st, that man will be dead, and the half of us in this great nation who understand what a threat he is to democracy will stand and we will cheer. Yeah, it's a weird, very
also,
nasty.
Chris, go down and read his response. It's what's going on today is hilarious. I love it. Like so many people are getting fired. So many people are,
Right. And he goes, "My Facebook page is subject to hacking, just like yours. I did not write the offensive post."
Oh, sure.
I wasn't even awake at the time. 3 other posters comprised as well. All have been taken down as I create a new page. I do not know nor have ever condoned violence against any person or living thing. Thank you. Well, look, maybe that's true, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Read
but
the
he's
company.
Been fired from his job. Yeah. We are aware of the post made by this morning by Phil Whipple. Those statements made reflect the view of Phil and not race on our racing community sponsors or partners. So they got a little bit of promotion out of this. Hey. This proves that Joe Biden's rhetoric, which was parroted by the media, is causing these attacks. Democrats have been brainwashed for so long. They see Trump as a threat that needs to be killed. The media and the government caused this to happen. This is not both sides. This is on them. Or this is them. Look,
yeah.
Even if this guy is not let's say he was hacked, right? Let's say he didn't express those views and it was somebody like messing with his site or messing with his Facebook page, something like that. There are a lot of people that are filming themselves and putting themselves on TikTok, stuff like that, saying very similar things to this guy. This is not just like an isolated incident. A lot of people are coming on saying, we wish that the shooter had aimed better. We wish that the shooter had hit his target. A lot of people are saying that. And it's disgusting. It's crazy. But like that person said in the comments, this is a testament to the actual ability of the mainstream media to propagandize and brainwash the Democrat voters in this way.
Exactly. These people look foolish. They look so weak when they do these things. Also, that's the other great outcome that came out of this attempt on Trump. And which, like you said, with the blood and all that stuff, like this is what I love about Trump. No matter what he did in office, people say he didn't do anything. He picked the wrong people, which I think he still is. But anyway, no matter what you say about Trump, the Supreme Court justices he picked, bringing out the swamp, and now again he's bringing out the crazy people on the other side. They're not even crazy. They're just regular people. These people saying this stuff are regular Americans. And it's good to
expose the crazies.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the great thing about Trump. This is what I love about Trump. No other Republican or conservative has been able to have an effect like the way Trump has on these people.
Right. You're 100% right. You make a great point. All right, let's move on to the next story, shall we?
Yes.
Libs of TikTok, Trump Jr. This is a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to play this because it's too good. It is too good.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically your father as president, I think you would even say was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
I love it.
I love that. Look at his face. What a piece of garbage. So many, like you said, all the crappy people are being exposed right now.
Yeah.
This guy from MSDNC, as he calls them. Oh, absolutely disgusting people. But come on. I mean, Donald Trump Jr. Boom, nails it. That was great, man. 1-2 punch.
The shoe. That was the best. For me, that right there is just.
We don't.
You know that got to him. You know that got to him because that was more effective than the words.
But I mean, the words were beautiful. I mean, the way he said it was exactly perfect. You know, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
You know, because and he was right. Exactly. Yeah. Obama's policies. Yeah. And the guy's like, no, he didn't separate families. He didn't separate. Yeah, he did. Yeah, of course he did. Because you know what? And it's weird that he brings that up. Like, what a thing to bring up right now. You're going to bring that up right now? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They have no shame, these so-called journalists. The MSNBC folks. But
They're,
anyway,
they're,
I just love that. I
they're
want to
dirt
celebrate
bags.
Don
Sorry to
Jr.
say it. Sorry to say
They're
it.
dirt bags. They are.
They're
I wanted to
scum of the
celebrate
earth.
Don Jr. for a moment just because that was so beautiful. That's really the only reason that we covered that. It was it was just a bit of fun, you guys. I don't know if I would consider that news, but I just thought it was awesome. So good job, Don Jr. I've never met Don Jr., but I think he would be a cool guy to have a beer with, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like a decent guy. I mean, compare that to Hunter. Compare Don Jr. to Hunter. You know what I mean? Donald Trump, what a great father. You know,
that's what I was gonna say. That his family speaks a lot about the character of Trump and his family. You know, I mean, you can see a clear difference.
Exactly. And Ivanka seems like a really great woman, and Eric also seems really awesome. I mean, obviously this clip was Don Jr., but Eric also an awesome guy. So yeah. And his wife, he's married, right, to Laura Trump or whatever. I've done a show with her where she was hosting on Newsmax. She's fantastic. She laughed at my jokes, so you know, anybody who laughs at my jokes,
isn't she like head of the RNC or something like that right now?
Now she is, yeah.
Or the GOP or RNC, I think.
Yeah, RNC. Yeah, it's true. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is the big story of the day, ladies and gentlemen. You want to do it?
Big news today. Donald Trump announces his vice president pick, and it's JD Vance.
JD Vance. Now, look, I know you have very strong opinions. I'm going to let you talk. I like JD Vance. I think he's a guy who was sort of like brought into the sort of elite, sort of lefty world. And he got to understand them from the inside, and he kind of exposed a lot of their BS. And I think he's always said all the right things for me. Let's see. This is Donald Trump Jr. He says, Biden is stuck with the worst VP in the history of our nation. President Trump has one of the most dynamic young leaders in the country, J.D. Vance. We also have incredible patriots like Doug Burgum, Senator Marco Rubio, countless others who work their tails off. Let me see what else he has to say. It's taking a second to load. I do apologize. Who worked their tails off to get my father elected this November. That's true. But you know what? I think, let me just say real quick why I think that they they went ahead and put this out there right now, because I think this is like a calculated decision where they went, okay, if we're going to have people trying to shoot at Donald Trump, we need these people to know who's going to replace him. Right? So we need somebody who is as conservative and somebody who they can hate just as much in order for them to be dissuaded from any further assassination attempts. That's why I think they announced it today. I don't know. That's my thinking. Anyway, but I want to hear your thoughts. I know you're pretty passionate about this. What do you have to say about this?
First, before I go to my notes, I think JD Vance, like I never really even heard about the guy. I've heard about him in the news now because the talk that they've been saying, but I don't think he's going to do anything for the campaign. I don't think he's going to sway anybody. I just think it's just like there could have been more effective people.
But it doesn't matter now.
I guess you're
talking about like DEI hires?
Hold on, Chris. I was just gonna say, I guess that doesn't mean anything right now because after the attempt on his Trump's life, I mean that's given him the victory. But so let me just go on with what I've done did my research. I can't say if everything's 100% true on this, but first of all, his wife, they both went to Yale. Okay, so they're university people. They're
Jason, I literally just explained that he was welcome into the lefty elite circles.
Yes,
and he rejected them and exposed them.
Can I finish my thank you, Chris. So his wife works in a law firm. She's a lawyer, I believe. She works in a law firm based in San Francisco, okay, and Washington D.C. Not for me. I don't know. That's kind of I don't like that. That's suspect to me. Okay.
Okay. All right.
He's never been tested. He's a new senator, right? Like I don't think he's really been tested. He won his election in 2022. So there's really nothing that we can go on from his history, Now,
I feel like you're using your own ignorance and projecting it onto everyone else.
I knew Chris was going to do this. He was going to belittle my whole thing about
you don't
Vance
know
here.
About somebody. It doesn't mean everybody doesn't know about
it. Typical elitist here. So anyway,
I'm not an elitist. I'm just elite. Chase.
Okay, so
all right.
So he openly criticized Trump in 2016. Suggested Trump could be America's Hitler. Okay, that right there, kind of.
No, I want the exact quote. I want the exact quote in context. I don't want this.
He suggested Trump
New York Times style reporting. Yeah, no. I don't know where you got that information. I want the exact quote in context.
I believe that was his exact quote. Okay. He wasn't never Trumper.
In context. Do you understand the term in context? It means I want the sentence.
Okay, let me finish my point, Chris. Let me finish my point, and then you can break it down. Okay. You haven't let me finish. All right. So he was against Trump. He was in 2016 he was against Trump, which come on, like if he was pretty much on the side of rhinos during the election 2016.
Whoa. On the side of rhinos. Where does that come from? That's some new thing.
Yeah, he wasn't supporting Trump in 2016.
Don't just slip that in. Don't just slip that in.
He was going against Trump in 2016.
You sure about that? You
in
sure
2016?
About that? No, I'm not aware of this.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, moving on.
So the good things about him, which I'll admit, these are good things. He supports the tariffs he supports tariffs, I guess, on China and all that. He's against the foreign intervention. He's against the war in Ukraine, which I'm for.
Right.
He's passed legislation to ban gender affirming surgery on minors. Great. He wants to eliminate DEI in the federal government. Great. These are all great things. I love it. But all good except most politicians will pander to get elected, and he's so far he's a politician. He's changed his whole story once he came to be once he came to go for the Senate seat, he's changed his tune. I know he comes
break
from.
down your
Wait, hold on.
2016.
There's one quote that I got. There's one quote that I got that kind of.
I'll let you finish.
This is like kind of made me like, I don't. This is weird. So
Things that
his,
make you
and
go,
this goes back to his wife. So he said,
right.
he quote, "I'm one of these guys, who really benefits from having sort of a powerful female voice over his left shoulder, saying, 'Don't do that, do that.'" So that right there is a red flag to me.
No, I don't think so, because you know what? That is actually the way a marriage should be, and it's been that way since the dawn of time.
No,
we always have a wife.
No,
Jason, let me finish what I'm saying. Don't know me. I told you earlier, I don't want this like BS no nonsense in the middle of me talking. All right, very disrespectful. Look, men rely on their wives.
The man that belittles my stuff is telling me that. Go ahead.
I am, yes. Men always rely on their wives. If you don't have a brilliant wife, you're at a disadvantage in this world. You always want somebody who has a bit of wisdom, a bit of sense to her. At the end of the day, you got to make your own decisions as a man. You got to stand up. You got to be as sensible. You got to rely on yourself at the end of the day. But having a great wife as a sounding board, as somebody you can collaborate with, that's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't begrudge anybody that. If he thinks that his wife is an intelligent woman and relies on her, I think that's a wonderful thing. I don't think that's something that we need to say like, oh no, the wife's supposed to be in the kitchen and that's it. She raised the kids and I make the decisions. If she talks, I tell her, woman, you only talk when spoken to. I mean, you sound like the Democrat perception, the stereotype of like the redneck Republican. Nah. Women don't talk. I make my own decision.
I want a man that can make up his own mind. That leads.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to have input from your wife. You don't ever ask your wife her opinion.
I did not say that. But
yeah, well, that's what it sounds like.
He shouldn't be making his decisions because of what his wife is saying. Like,
No, but I do think that that's a valuable thing to have a brilliant woman with you that can help contribute to your, to thinking through these various ideas that we have to deal with throughout our lives. I think that's great.
Overall, I think because I know the Democrats and the left don't like him, so that's a plus. And at the end of the day, look, I'm not saying like these are my things that kind of make me question it and kind of annoy me because Trump, the first time he was president, picked the worst people, some of the worst people.
I appreciate
he wasn't good at
Yeah,
this.
I appreciate trying to be skeptical and looking.
I feel like there were so many better options than Vance. But like I said, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna vote for Trump, of course. Still, this doesn't change my mind. And I hope the deep state doesn't feel like if they get rid of Trump, this guy is gonna go really fall into line with them. That's what I'm worried about. Like if they would have picked somebody like I don't know, pick the craziest person that you could think of, like Alex Jones as vice president. Like you think they would have tried to attempt to assassinate Trump again? No. Yeah. I'm not saying that would have been my pick.
Listen. I have followed JD Vance for quite some time before he was running, actually, and I've always liked him. And your 2016 criticism is a little bit silly because in 2016 nobody really knew if Trump was like a serious candidate. Nobody really knew if he was like a solid conservative or if he was just because he was the guy on The Apprentice, right? He was a New York socialite. He was hobnobbing with the Clintons. People weren't actually convinced. And honestly, Trump is not as hard. Okay. Why do you interrupt me? Why always do that? Look, Donald Trump is not as hardcore right as people think that he is. That's a leftist smear in a way, right? Donald Trump has given more money to historically black colleges and universities than any other president. You know what I mean? He gives money to, he was like pro LGBT stuff, like early in the presidency or, before the presidency. He was buddies. He really was buddies with Bill and Hillary Clinton. Like he was never really a very hardcore right-wing guy, right? He was always a very moderate guy. certainly economically he was right wing, and I think that certainly like the left going and attacking him early on certainly shifted him more right. But like in 2016, we were all skeptical a little bit of Donald Trump because we're like, is this Jason, stop shaking your head and pretending.
No,
like
because you're claiming something that's not true. I was not.
I'm not.
What do you mean?
I'm not. Yeah, but if you weren't concerned that maybe Trump wasn't 100% conservative early on, you were naive. Okay, you were naive. If you were just like, oh, I'm just going to listen to what this guy's saying right now and ignore everything else about him possible, right? You know what I mean? Like Trump isn't that as conservative as people think he is.
I guess
moderate.
my naivety
Trump really is a moderate.
Worked out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly right. You were lucky, basically. I mean, you couldn't not have known. I mean, there's no way to know that Trump's going to be this like.
Yeah. Well, the one reason why I thought that way was he wasn't a politician. For me, the things that we liked about him, I think we would probably go back and we could go through the list and agree on. Like the one thing that was absolutely for certain for me, like a positive from the very, very beginning, was that Trump couldn't be bought. I loved that from the beginning. He's too rich to be bought. I didn't think that he could be blackmailed because I thought he was probably pretty clean because he'd been in the public eye since like the 1980s. So I was like, okay, if this guy is truly as conservative as he's saying that he is, amazing, right? But there's always that. I think at one point I said something. I made some joke about him and Bill betting on whether he could, as a joke, become president. But no, I mean, if you look back at what Trump has been saying since, like, there's these old videos from the 90s of him talking on Oprah or him in interviews, and he's been saying the same stuff since he was like in his 30s. Like, this is how we can fix the country and stuff like this. So once you looked into it, you realized, oh yeah, Trump seems like he's the real deal. But I could definitely imagine that there's a little skepticism, but not because you're not MAGA, not because you're part of the Rhino group and you're in with the establishment, not because of that, but because you weren't sure Trump was as conservative as you wanted him to be. And I met many Christians who were like that, who were concerned because Trump is not necessarily like a very strong Christian. And some of the stuff he said about Christianity seems like a little bit like, really? That's what your position is on Christianity? You know what I mean? So the fact that there was some concern back in 2016, I think maybe you give him a little bit of a break there. Look,
that kind of a concern.
I'm just worried about Pence 2.0. What Pence did.
And fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I respect that actually. I respect your skepticism. I'm the optimist. That's why we make a good team.
The only thing is I want somebody that will 100% support Trump no matter what. Even the risk of his own well-being, like the vice president, I want somebody that's 100%. And the experience with Pence was a complete letdown, disappointment. And I just don't want that. And I think that's where I'm coming from. Those are my concerns. And I just wanted to put it out there. And I just felt like there was better people that could have. And what gets me too? Like,
give me an example of somebody you thought was better.
People are gonna hate me for this, but well, actually, I was more for this before the attempt on his life. Tulsi Gabbard, that would have brought so many.
Well, I like
so
Tulsi.
Much people.
I like Tulsi.
It would have brought a lot of people.
Yeah.
On our
I don't
side.
think that's true though. I don't think that's true because the left really hates Tulsi. Like they really hate her, and I don't think independents really care.
I think moderates liked her. I think moderates like her.
You think so? Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think conservatives like her. I don't think moderates care about her.
I think moderates to what she did to Hillary and to Kamala. I think that swayed a lot of moderates to kind of like her.
No. I think that sways conservatives to like her. I don't think moderates care.
I think
the problem is
well, here the other thing is that was it would have been Tulsi for me if that.
I like Tulsi. I mean, I like Tulsi. I don't know if I would have picked her as VP, but I like Tulsi. All right. Well, let's look here. This is the immediate response from Biden's campaign. This is Biden's Twitter girl or his campaign people or something. It's certainly not Biden because he's not this articulate. And I don't think he even knows how to type. So Biden's campaign comes out and they say, here's the deal about J.D. Vance. He talks a big game about working people, but now he and Trump want to raise taxes on the middle-class families while pushing more tax cuts for the rich. Well, I don't tend to let them. And if you're with me, pitch in. So this is like a fundraising effort, right? But I thought this was really funny because reading this after Trump emerged healthy and safe, surviving an assassination attempt, is the most sort of like weak, just like pathetic, just pointless. It's a toothless, weak attack on JD Vance, attack on Trump. It's a response that will resonate with absolutely no one. It's so. Let me read a couple of the.
Yeah.
Kyle Becker, blah blah blah. Okay, social media intern. Nobody asked. Sarah Rose says, "You don't intend to let them." It sounds more like a violent rhetoric intern. I love how people. I love how people respond to Biden's tweets, referencing the intern that wrote them. I love that. Tim Young, yawn. Mays says, "Yeah, he's not middle class Joe like you." Yeah, so people are just like, "What the f is this crap? He's a Marine. Take your un-American takes and get the fuck out of here." Cry more. It's great. Like, people just sort of dismiss this, and I just thought this was a bit of fun to look at how the Biden campaign is. Like, what do they got? They got nothing. They've got nothing. The response is so weak. What's the word? Impotent. They've got an impotent response here. Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company comes in with $2. He says, "Jason, go find what JD said in response to Hitler."
Put it on the post. Post it.
Yeah, what? Yeah, why did you just put it in the super chat?
Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier if you put it in the super chat.
I'm willing to know. Look.
Nobody should ever write in the comment section, "Go look something up," when you can just post this. Like,
I'm willing to hear. I'm not closed-minded to it. Like
no offense to Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company. We love you, obviously.
Yeah, we love you. We do.
It is a little bit annoying to say.
I wish you would tell me because I want to know, because like I said in the beginning of this, JD Vance is new to me. I really don't know much about him. It's yesterday and today is when I started doing my research on him.
I will say I'm not a JD Vance expert, but so far I should do a video. Who is JD Vance? I should do that. All right. Dame Frodo Lives jumps in from Dame Piglet. The presidency is a job, and I hire on product. I assume that means I hire on how a person has performed in the job, I guess. I'm not really sure what that means. I hire on product. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a good day for America. I think JD Vance is a good choice. I should do a little bit of research on him today and maybe do a video about that. I got a few other videos. Here's the thing, guys. I produced like 5 videos that are kind of like good to go and ready to be posted. But after the shooting, I feel like they're a little bit irrelevant now. Like, they're good videos, but I feel like I got to kind of push them back a little bit and maybe do some new content because everything changed. It's just like, does anybody really care about a fact check about the debate now, which I've worked on for like 2 weeks, almost not quite 2 weeks, but like a week.
By the way, people, don't be like a leftist. Calling somebody a simp is not an argument. Tell me things about JD Vance. Tell me things to counter what I say, and I'll read it and I'll take it in, and maybe you'll change my mind. So
where does the word simp come from? It's an interesting word, simp.
I have no idea.
Anybody know where that comes from? my friend Chrissy Mayer does something called the Simp Cast. and then here in Indonesia, there's a restaurant that serves like a smoothie called the Simp, which I thought was quite funny. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to Chrissy Mayer, and she didn't respond to me. The hell, Chrissy. Anyway. But yeah, simping. It basically means, like, typically what simping is, which I don't understand why you would call anybody on this show a simp, except for me, simping for myself because I'm a complete narcissist. Is if like there's a chick on like that has like a YouTube thing or a Twitch stream or something, and you're like a fan of hers to such a degree that you cannot entertain any kind of criticism of the girl in your mind because you're just so in love with her, right? It's sort of like having a crush on somebody on TV or on social media, and you're just like an obsessive fan. That's kind of like what simping is, or what being a simp is. And as I said, the only person I simp for is myself. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a simp to my wife, I guess. If you look at
exactly. Yeah, I'm constantly looking in the mirror going, You're amazing. I don't know. I'm not really sure why I said that, but it's very funny to me in my head.
Sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah, that Saturday Night Live through the '90s, with that
when
lefty guy.
Saturday Night Live was decent.
Yeah, he was actually pretty funny. He was a congressman eventually, right, or a senator, and then he had to drop out because there's some pictures emerged of him jokingly grabbing a woman's breasts or something like this. And
yeah. While she was asleep or something. Yeah.
Messed up stuff. But he was pretty funny on Saturday Night Live. I'll give him that. All right. Well, I think it's a good day. I think the news is fantastic. JD Vance is our vice president. JD Vance is your vice president. Get your head around that, guys. But more importantly, Donald Trump is still alive, and everything's changed. We're going to win. We even have lefty black comedians coming out going, I'm voting now for Donald Trump because he's a badass.
Yeah. And look, don't let this stop you. Still, go out and vote. Vote early. I'm going to say it all the time.
Of course, we got to vote. We got to vote because they're still going to cheat.
Yep.
So,
they're going to try to cheat harder.
They're going to try to cheat harder. That is true. All right. Well, that's it for us. We're going to end a little early, I think, today. Normally we go 2 hours, but it's funny. When we started the show, we were like, let's do it an hour. And we always go 2 hours. But it's like when I say that we're ending the show early, we're actually ending the show 40 minutes late. But it's less than our typical 60 minutes late. So, all right.
Usually when we leave not too late, it's because Chris has a date with a Russian. So,
shh, quiet. What? Yeah. Anyway. I mean, it's always going to be a Russian, isn't it? All right. That's it for us. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much that is not so. We will see you next episode. Good night.